What's up and welcome to another episode of Merricks Garage. Today I'm talking about my seat brackets. These are the seat brackets that I sell over on my website that allow you to put a more modern seat in the rear of your Blazer. I'm going to go over these, the front ones, install tips and tricks, what seats to look for, and all that goodness on this week's episode. So stay tuned, Merricks Garage. I've been offering the rear seat brackets for sale on my website for, I'd say probably 3 years now, and I've sold several hundred of these. They've proven very popular because they're incredibly easy to install. It allows you to put new seats into your truck. You get shoulder belts, you get lap, you get split folding, you get leather. There's tons of options out there. And they really do make a difference for your passengers' comfort and safety. The front seat brackets, I've been producing these for about a year after fielding dozens and dozens and dozens of requests to make a front seat bracket. I stayed away from the front seat bracket for a little bit because I recognized it was going to be a little bit more challenging than the rear. You see, the rear bolt pattern it's pretty much consistent from 70 to 91. There are some changes, but my bracket can accommodate the first gen versus the second gen. When it comes to the front seat brackets, 95% of the trucks out there, these will bolt straight into. If you have the original floor plan with just the 4 square bolts or the bolts in a square, you're good. If you have a military or government issue truck, and this is what I've gleaned from speaking to people who've installed them and installing a couple myself, if you have either a CUCV or a government issue like a Forest Service or Fire Department Blazer that you got from surplus or a sale or something, the floor plans can sometimes be a little bit different, and you will find that when you put the bracket down, you can't always line up all 4 bolt holes. They still work, you just may need to drill a hole in the bracket to make it fit for your application. I did the best I could to provide as many different configurations on here for different bolt patterns and different seats. I offer both the front and the rear in either raw, straight out of the gun, like you see these here, or I offer them in powder coating. Powder coating seems to be a popular option. It's a one-stop shop. I ship you the bracket, it's powder coated, you bolt it in, drop your seats on, and you're good. So let's get into a little bit about how to mount the front seat. The rear seat bracket, I have done a video previously on the rear seat brackets install, how to put the seats in. I'm going to link that up here. So if you are curious about how to install these, go ahead and take a look at that video. But let's jump into the front seat bracket and I'll show you what I've done with these guys. If you're into working on trucks and watching other dudes work on trucks, then you need to be subscribed to Merricks Garage. So click that button down there and become part of the team. I thought I would open up a Blazer that's sitting in the yard that we can use to illustrate how these will mount. Unfortunately, the carpet is aftermarket and makes it rather difficult to get into these holes to show you how things sit. So I thought I'd show you instead off the base of the seat. So this is the factory bolt holes. So you're obviously going to see where they mount to the bracket and therefore where they're going to mount to the floor. So super simple. With this particular configuration, you're going to be using these inside holes. So these would be the ones that would be most likely bolting it down for you, although it may vary depending on what model you have. This is the front seat bracket that I have been producing, and you'll see all these different options for slots and for bolts for the seat, and they are the same on both sides. What this gives you is multiple different options on where you want the seat to mount, and then multiple different options on where you want it to bolt to the floor. I put this many options on there to basically try and cover as many different configurations as I could. Unfortunately, I'm not able to anticipate every seat that people use and every different floor configuration that they try to put them in. So what I recommend with this bracket is get your seat, mount your seat to the bracket, Put the bracket in the truck where it is most comfortable. Get in the truck, sit in the seat with the new bracket and figure out, I want this to sit here. Once you have the place where you would like the bracket to sit, start looking at the bolt holes in the floor that could capture the bracket. Like I said, if you have an OEM, original GM K5 Blazer, you should find 4 bolt holes that will attach it directly to the floor. If you don't, you'll find maybe 2 or 3, or most likely 3 will line up, and you may have to drill a hole for the 4th through the bracket in some place. I find it's a lot easier to work backwards after you find the perfect sitting position with these brackets, rather than getting the bracket to fit perfectly and then trying to make the seat fit to where you need it to be. Get your seating position down first, then work on getting the bracket bolted in. I prefer to go with the BMW, Audi, Mercedes, mostly a European model front seat out of a 2-door. The reason that the 2 doors work so well is you get a split folding. It's not a split folding, you get a forward folding seat. That allows access to the rear of the truck. It allows the seat to fold forward, up and out of the way. And I found that they're really, really high quality, comfortable seats that can be found for a screaming deal at most junkyards. The other nice thing of the Blazer, of the BMW seats and the Audi seats is the bolts match right up with the brackets. That's what these were designed around. They were designed around a BMW seat because that's what I had in the Blazer. I was a huge fan of the BMW seats for all the reasons I just mentioned, and they bolted up directly onto this. The front seats I chose for my Blazer came out of a BMW M3 to be exact. That happens to be the car that I daily drive. Also, I have a 2005 E46 M3 that I adore. It's a fantastic platform for a car, and the seats that come with it are top class. Now, you are not specifically limited to the BMW seats, although they do fit very nicely and give you the forward folding design. With all the optional slots that are cut into the top plate, you're going to be able to fit a wide variety of seats. I happen to like the M3 because of the big side bolsters. It has additional leg support. You can get them with power, you can get them with heat, you can get them with lumbar support. And this split folding design means access to the back seat is pretty simple. The GM front seats have always been a popular upgrade to our truck. There is tons of options out there, from leather to cloth to power to heat to side bolsters and lumbar support. Just start scouring your junkyard and you can find what you are looking for. And with our new square body seat brackets, there's never been an easier time to install these. The top of the bracket is designed to bolt directly to the base of the new seats, and the bottom will bolt directly to your floor pan in your square body Blazer. Super easy, super convenient, and will give you a upgraded seating platform that now will match the quality and ride of the truck that you are building. I'm really excited to bring these to you. I love square bodies, and putting a seat in that's going to give you some of the creature comforts of a more modern vehicle is just more reason to keep daily driving these guys. All of my brackets are coming laser cut now. So these are no longer cut on a plasma table. They are cut for me by Laser Nut down south with their high quality lasers. And I gotta be honest, you just get a fantastic finish out of them. I use a higher quality steel that is cleaner and doesn't have all the mill scale on it, so it's a pleasure for me to weld them together, and they look a lot better when you guys get them. So that is something that I have changed from the beginning when I was making them on a plasma table. They're now laser cut, and I think you will notice the difference. When you get a rear seat bracket, I also send a set of these U-bolts. These U-bolts are designed to mount through this hole right here and capture the base in the floor that the original seats bolted into. Super simple. You run the U-bolt and then you tighten down some bolts on it and you are good to go. This is the seat that has been in my Blazer for about 6 years now, and it looks like it, but this has worked perfectly. This is out of a 2005 Escalade ESV. It's the third row. It comes in black perforated leather. It's got 3 shoulder belts. It's got integrated seat belts to the seats, which is really nice because you don't need to worry about mounting the seat belts to something within the truck. They come integrated into the seats themselves. Seating for 3, lap belts for 3, 2 headrests, split folding. They pull in and out very easily. And this is what you want to be looking for. This is the seat bracket on the bottom that has to come with them for them to fit with my brackets. This latch right here is what captures the front post of my brackets, and then this latch back here is what captures the rear of the brackets. When you go to install the seats, just a quick tip, I like to produce the seat brackets a little tight so that the seats don't rattle when they're on the seat brackets. So the first 2 or 3 times that you install them, make sure that you really seat it. They may be a little tight to fit in, but I do that on purpose so they don't rattle. There are different seats with different seat brackets. They will not work. You need to make sure that you're looking for a third row out of a GM vehicle, whether that's a Tahoe or Denali, a Suburban or an Escalade. You've got tons of options. They're available on Craigslist, on eBay. People have been pulling these seats out of their trucks for years, and they're just kicking around in their garage. So you can find them. I would recommend hunting until you find a set in good condition for under $500. That seems to be the sweet spot to get you all the features, you know, the leather, split folding, that sort of thing. The years to be looking for, I would recommend looking for 2005 and newer. And yeah, this is the bracket you've got to see. If you do not see this bracket, don't buy them because they won't work. But the ones that don't work are few and far between. The majority of the seats out there will have this configuration. I've also got a picture on my website, so if you want to take a close-up, go to my website, and I'll link down below to where you see a picture of how these bolt in. You're a big part of the reason that I've been able to pull off this crazy thing called Merricks Garage. So I mentioned it before. I'm going to put a video up here that has the full install of the rear seat brackets that I did in a past video. The website is merricksgarage.com, and you can look up seat brackets and other products I have. And yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions. James at Merricks Garage. Don't forget that subscribe button. And we'll see you next week.